Hey everybody, what's happening? Neil here, and I'm back at Toy Heaven in Smiths Falls, Ontario, on Russell Street, and check out what Lenny's got in the shop just recently. Yeah, pretty awesome looking Power Fist here. Armor sold separately, but no, this is really cool. This is a really nice hunk of plastic here. Yeah, really cool. Very nicely detailed, nicely painted, and construction. Yeah. So check her out, guys, here at Toy Heaven. So Toy Heaven is a place that I go to all the time because it always has so many cool things to look at here and trade and purchase. And he's even got an old Price is Right episode from 1983 up there. But now let's focus on the toys, shall we? We've got Sully from Monsters Inc. Well, that's an awesome decoration. Hey, the Transformers. Happy 40th anniversary to the Transformers. And I'm going to make this kind of the long one. This is going to be the big one, folks. I'm just going to throw in all the footage because of the Transformers little short that did very well, celebrating 40 years of American Transformers. But, it's all based on those brilliant Japanese designs, and we got Sonic figures. We got all sorts of stuff here. Too much to get into, so I can just let you take a look and see the Batman, and you've got Masters of the Universe classics, and you've got some Hasbro 3 and 3/4 inch Star Wars figures, superpowers. Now that's my jam, the old Kenner superpowers on the short cards that you could pick up at gas stations back in the 80s. Yes, and some more Motu classics here. We got Bo and Glimmer, so both She-Ra characters, but they're fantastic. Fantastic figures, lots of video games, lots of cards, all sorts of stuff. So not just toys, of course, but to just, any kind of collectible you can think of here. They got it at Toy Heaven. And I'm going to be taking a look at some of the stuff down here as well. A lot of cool comic books, Spider-Man, and a lot of many others here. Oh, yes, the Star Wars, of course, the number one. Speaking of comics, I got to rummage through the comics, which is what I usually do. He's got a lot of cool old school comics from the last 50 years that are only like $1, like in this bin here. Sabretooth and Mystique, then you got Green Arrow, the Longbow Hunters, and we got some kid stuff too, some Disney, Civil War, etc., etc. There's comics I've never heard of, some comics that I'll check out just because they're $1 each. Why not? Why not just dip into them and check them out, and then when you're done with them, give them away or something. Yeah, so even got a little Richie Rich going on there. Very cool. Yeah, just so many cool comics. Ooh, Dr. Fate. Hello there. And we've got an Obi-Wan here, as well as some Rock Band, rhythm games, all sorts of cool video games, and a very cool looking track as well. And into this room, which is, we get greeted by the creepy clown right away. But there's tons of toys and comics and old Nintendo Power magazines here in this room, the second room that Lenny's got going on here. Whole lot of Lord of the Rings action going on. The Toy Biz Lord of the Rings from the last 20 years, 25 years almost. And yeah, he's got a ton of it. Just so much great stuff here in the box. I think he just recently bought a huge Lord of the Rings collection. But that's beautiful there. The Aragorn with the horse. And yeah, all these deluxe box sets were always the best. In my opinion, I was always a big fan of the Toy Biz Lord of the Rings figures. I mean, they weren't perfect, but they were damn good representations of those 3 films. And that's when Toy Biz finally got good. So, more Lord of the Rings. So, yeah, Gollum and, we got the Witch King there in ghost form. Yeah, Gandalf the White. And I think he has a Gandalf the Grey. Yes, Gandalf the Grey as well. That's right. So, yes. Gimli's my favorite, of course. He was my very favorite. I love Gandalf. Check out this little bin here, this little yellow M&M bin of figures. These are little cheap, loosey figures that you can pick up for your kids if they're like, I want an action figure. Hey, There you go. And even adults too, right? Like myself, I'm a big fan of the Mattel DC Universe classics. So this Steppenwolf, based on the 80s redesign, is awesome. And oh my God, just a huge mix of stuff going on here. Yeah, definitely, I would recommend this Steppenwolf figure. Very cool. Just looks just like the old Superpowers figure from '85 or whenever that was. And nice little mix back here. We got a little Ra's al Ghul or Ra's al Ghul. And yeah, just like Spawn, like just random stuff, you know. They got Stone Cold Steve Austin, and The Rock. That's right. So yeah, I mean these are really inexpensive little loose figures, you know, that your kids can have a great afternoon playing with. I got Doctor Doom back there, and we got Howlin' Mad Murdock. That's an '80s figure, yeah, amongst a lot of '90s and 2000s stuff. But not very cool. I just love the fact that he just has that kind of random group of figures there for anyone, and lots more comics, of course. Comics. I love comics, and especially cheap comics. Based on work that I admire of writers and artists from '70s, '80s, '90s, all the way up to today. And of course, we've got these classic. Well, it's not that classic. They're not that old, these ones, but the Joker and Harley Quinn there on the beach, or getting married. It's cool little double image going on there. Ooh, real Ghostbusters. And there's another cover that you can swap back and forth. I mean, that's cool. I'm not a cover collector myself. I'm more of a story guy, so I don't even care about the condition of the comics, which is really good for financial reasons. Yeah, Spaceman. That's right. Ground control to Major Tom. Yeah, he's here. And just a cool mannequin in front of the Spider-Man 3 promotional poster here, this giant billboard thing. So yeah, there's just so many cool things in Toy Heaven, and more Lord of the Rings, yes, I know. But I'm going to keep showing off as much as I can. So now is definitely the time to pick up Lord of the Rings figures if you're a fan. So, what else we got? Oh, we got a sport trainer shooting gallery. That's an old school toy that definitely would not pass the the test today, right? The safety test. But yeah, just lots of cool stuff, lots of Nintendo power, and just a ton of different things that'll bring you right back to the past. Yeah, Lenny's pretty smart when it comes to the investing in the right things. You know, he knows what things people will like, and invest in. Robert Duvall, I got to show off Robert just because he's just a great actor. That's the only reason. But he's got a ton of those autographed pictures up there too. I've shown them off before, and this is the middle room here. So yeah, lots of cool stuff in the glass cabinet, and we got some candy going on. Candy makes you dandy. Yeah, just see for yourself all this vintage awesomeness, more Ghostbusters, and more like Star Wars figures, of course, and I think that's like Space 1999 or Battlestar Galactica. That may be a Fun School Flint down there, I think. I don't think it's the Hasbro. No. Star Trek Next Generation. Lots of those figures here too, and of course we got Mr. Bean. Mr. Bean, hello. Yes, of course. Oh yes. I don't know what is going on with this thing that Leonardo's in, but that's cool. If you know what this is, let us know in the comments below. We'd love to know. I'd love to know. I'm sure Lenny knows. He's just as big a toy expert as I am. The Boba Fett standee brings me right back to the 90s, not the 80s or the 70s, but the 90s, because it reminds me of having it in the 90s. So, yep, more Lord of the Rings. He got a massive Toy Biz Lord of the Rings collection. It's beautiful figures. These are some of the better ones here. I like these ones. A lot of wrestlers, of course, AEW and WWE. Treebeard, fantastic. Hawkman. I like that Black Adam movie. It's a bit of a guilty pleasure, but I liked it. Castle Grayskull, and I got Lars over there. Metallica. Look at this movie poster puzzle. That's cool. From Ghostbusters 2. Yeah, I've never seen that before. He's always got something new. Every time I come in here, and I'm in here like once or twice, a paycheck. But yeah, always something new here. Mortal Kombat figures. These are great. Shao Kahn. Wow, nice detail on him and the Spawn figure. And looks like another one there too. Yeah, wow, Mortal Kombat 11. I haven't played that game in a while, even though I got Arnold and Rambo and stuff for it, Terminator and everybody, RoboCop. More DC Universe classics. That's Mantis. It's another redesign from the 80s. Epic Heroes, X-Men 97, Cyclops, and a Ric Flair done kind of like a He-Man, I guess. Is that? I don't know if that's the idea with that one or not, but I know they've done that with wrestlers, and then we got some classic LJN, and the Iron Sheik has fallen over. Rest in peace, Iron Sheik. Awesome Stormtrooper. That's one of the original dolls from the 1970s. Okay, action figures. We won't call them dolls. But yeah, just too much to look at, too much to talk about. You know what these are because you're a huge toy geek like myself. That's why you're watching. Mario Kart, that's some new stuff. Obviously, that's some great action with Connects. We've got a Marvin the Martian. Oh, it makes me very angry. Yeah. More like Kermit the Frog there. Anyway, Casino, okay, like just any random stuff from even from the 60s and 70s that you wouldn't even think would be in a toy store like this, a vintage toy store. But it's just fantastic, very impressive. Marvel Legends, Elektra, she's a personal favorite, of course. I love that Daredevil comic and the first bunch of seasons of Netflix Daredevil too. So yeah, see for yourself. Oh, we got a Jitsu. That's an Origins Jitsu. That was a figure that was taken off the market in the 80s because they thought it might be a bit offensive. It might be a bit stereotypical. Well, maybe. I don't know. It depends on how they wrote him back then. But anyway, Joker from The Dark Knight Returns. So future Joker, right? Yeah. Ant-Man and the Wasp. And I don't know what this is. This is a Shadow Raiders. I don't remember this at all. So yeah, he's got so many cool things from the popular to the most obscure type of stuff. Just fantastic. Hulk. Some Overwatch and Call of Duty stuff here. Wow. Yeah, pretty sweet. More masters, more stuff. More stuff, more stuff. Your house is just a place for your stuff. Or that's what George Carlin used to say. Yeah, so lots of cool hockey tables and racing hoppers from Tyco and tons of Transformers. Don't forget about the Transformers, folks. Yes, some really cool ones here as well. A lot of modern ones and some G1, of course, as well. And yeah, just too much. I love this wall up here with all the carded figures on pegs and everything, and they're fantastic. Check out that Total Justice Superman. I used to have that. I had the entire run of those figures because I was so deep into comics at the time. But I only kept the about 3 or 4 of them for myself and sold the rest. That's the life of a collector. You buy and then you trade or you sell. You got to make room. You can't have too many things. Unless you're a toy seller like Lenny, and then you can have too much stuff. Lots of Hasbro carded Star Wars figures on throwback looking cards. A lot of old photos and a lot of stuff based on new stuff too, like this weird Stormtrooper. I don't know. I never understood the multicolor Stormtrooper thing. Someone fill me in the comments below. Yeah, but just everything you can think of, right? We got some glasses down there as well. So yeah, I mean, it doesn't end, folks, and this is going to be a long video, but I'm going to end this shot anyway on the Spider-Man Classics. Lots of NES cartridges for your pleasure, and certainly a lot of different kinds of old school video games. It's a GameCube here, and of course some Atari. And he's got some PlayStation, some Nintendo 64, all sorts of great classic gaming action. And even more here. Look at the PS2 tower here. And I'm always looking at this because I just recently got myself a new PlayStation 2 after my old one died. So yeah, might as well. And check out these South Park characters up here. Yeah, so we've got Cartman and Stan and so on. Just yeah, really cool that yeah, you don't see those every day. And we've got some Xbox One and PS4 as well as PS3 and so on. Yeah, so many great games here to look at and choose from. And at the top, we've got a Wonder Woman cake pan. But of course, the main item we want to show off today is the Fallout Power Fist, and it is awesome. Yeah, fits really well. It's got nice detail, and looks like it fits on either arm. Even more bagged loose figures here, and everything from He-Man to WWE, and all sorts of things. Got a Skeletor there, and of course, we've got Shazam right there, the Zachary Levi version, and some Toidles as well. Some Toidles. Every store's got to have some Toidles. So much more here to show. Lots of Predators there, and Voltron. Yeah, that's still kicking it, and all sorts of awesome obscure little G.I. Joe things as well, like that lunchbox looking thing there, and yeah, he's got the Metallica set. Yeah, I've seen that. I've shown that before. So much to look at, too much, so I'm just gonna kind of speed through it a bit, if you don't mind, because it is gonna be a long one. Ooh, Mr. Sinister. Yeah, he's a big deal in X-Men. And what is this? What is this? This doll, this Cuddle Love by Mattel. I've never seen that before in my life. Yeah, so you're going to say that every time you walk into Toy Heaven and say, what is that? I've never seen that before. So yeah, again, toys for all ages here, folks. All ages. So little ones are welcome. Lots of classic, well, they're now classic, Star Wars figures from Hasbro when they took over from Kenner back in '95. And so, yeah, quite a few of those, of course. And then we've got this glass cabinet here that I can take a look at. I'm going to spin it around a bit. Take a look at all these vintage G.I. Joes, a Real American Hero. These are all from the 80s, maybe a couple from the 90s there. But yeah, mostly perfect. I think it's just Tiger Force Dusty that always has the missing crotch issue. But otherwise, Crimson Guard on a mini card. That's cool. Got Snake Eyes with Timber there, and many more. Yes, Battle Android Troopers. Yeah, so many sweet figures. Oh, and oh, behave. We've got some Austin Powers as well. So yeah, just too much to look at, right? Yep, cool Boba Fett. That's a big Boba Fett. That will look really cool, actually, on the shelf. But lots of board games and puzzles and things, little knickknacks and whatnot. I'm going to go through these little glass cabinets again, showing off the superheroes and various other figures. You got a little bit of A-Team down there, a little bit of DC, got some wrestlers, you got some robots of all kind. We've got more Transformers, so I've shown these off before, but we'll go through it again. What the hell? Really cool bunch of Transformers here. Many of them are G1. Transformers and GoBots. There's a Bug Bite in the box there from GoBots. And you got Jazz, and you got a you got a half transformed cup. Hey, what happened over here? Kind of sounds like that. So yeah, just too much again to look at, but yeah, so many beloved characters and beloved toys, and little things, based on the '80s. If you're, what are these? I don't even know what these cavemen are. So like a toy expert like myself, and I still don't know what a few of these things are actually. That Dracula is really cool. That's a Dracula Transformers. Transformers Dracula. Who knew such a thing existed? But my buddy Daniel Coper let me know about that, and I was like, okay. And yeah, so we got Metroplex back there. That was one of the bigger ones, of course, and yeah, RC and Ironhide, I think, and Blaster down there in his Ghetto Blaster mode. So yeah, lots of cool things to look at here. Got a mix of different things. At the bottom, we got some cops. I think that's Turbo Chuto down there. Yeah, lots of great characters. Yeah, who else we got here? Thundercats. Oh, of course, Thundercats. Ho! Some Hot Wheels / Matchbox cars. I'm not sure if they're all Hot Wheels or not, but I did have that yellow one there. If you can see the one I mean on the right there, that's, yeah, classic. Classic nostalgia. And we've got the classic Kenner B-Wing, complete with pilot as well. And he's got some funky lights going on around here, and some other things that must be some vintage toys that I just don't really recognize, except for the Naboo Cruiser, of course, from Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. I sold him that toy. We got an AT-AT and a Land Speeder. So this big-ass Land Speeder is pretty cool. Get a shot from outside quickly. Yeah, that's a pretty cool thing to have, I gotta say. Man, it's almost movie size. But anyway, now moving on to some Resident Evil figures, right? We got Leon and Chris and Claire Redfield and Ada Wong. So a whole bunch of those, and we've got a nice mix over here as well. So we got Two-Face and the Penguin, and we got the Hulkster brother as well. That's Jack Specific. Oh man, some Bionic Woman action going on there with the box. That's really cool. And what else we got here? Oh, we got a MODOK. Yeah, it's the real MODOK, folks. Yeah, really cool. Based on the comics, of course, not the Quantumania. This is awesome. I love this. The Deadpool on the bike. And then you got a little Beetlejuice there. Babes! Just hanging out. Yeah, so just a whole wonderful mix of stuff here. Bottom shelves, it's hard to see, I know. But you got some Centurions. You got one of them anyway. And the Thing. Yeah, just a massive amount of awesome nostalgia here. Too much to even look at and recognize. We got a little Rat Trap there, Yeah, little chopper face over there. It kind of sounds like that. I'm no Jess Harnell, I know. But yeah, check it out, guys. Shelves and shelves, oodles and oodles of awesome action figure action. Space 1999. Some GoBots action, and of course the Malbolgia from the Spawn line there from McFarlane Toys, and a Yoda, the old Yoda little puppet there from back in the day, because every store needs a Yoda. Moving on to more Masters of the Universe. So we got some actual vintage Masters, starting back in 1982, and when I was a kid I was very lucky because I got Skeletor and Panther, and I got He-Man and Battle Cat, those gift sets that they put out back in '82, the very first ones. We got Moss Man. I remember Moss Man. Yeah, he was a favorite. And some Star Wars here. I got some little mix of vintage and new. A nice little play set. And some DC stuff. Another Mr. Sinister. And G.I. Joe. He's even got this Playmates Homer Simpson figure. Now let's take a look at more of the store. So come on down to Toy Heaven, guys. 14 Russell Street East in Smiths Falls, Ontario. Until next time, peace.